label A, B, C. Step 2, plug in to negative B over 2A equals X. So we're going to plug these in. We get minus a negative 3 over 2 times negative 1. And Christina, what do we get? What's negative 3 times a negative? So we get positive 3, and 2 over negative 1 would give us a negative 2. So our answer is 3 over negative 2. That equals X. That's our axis of symmetry. What's the same thing as 3 over 2? X will equal negative 1 and a half. Those mean the same thing. One's a mixed number, one's an improper fraction. Okay, Austin, once I find X, what do I have to find? Y. And how am I going to find Y? I'm going to do what? I'm going to take X and plug it into our original equation. Okay. So we've got Y equals negative 1 and a half squared minus 3 times negative 1 and a half plus 1. Guys, don't kill yourself on trying to do this. Just plug it into your calculator. So you got to make sure you put the parentheses in the right place, though. First I'm going to put a negative, then I'm going to put parentheses 1, negative 1.5. Then I'm going to say minus 3 times negative 1.5 plus 1. And I get Y equals 7. So our step 3 is plug X into original equation. Step 4, make table. Okay. So I'm going to plot this point first just so I know where it is. I'm at negative 1 and a half to 7. So I go over 1 and halfway, and then I go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when I do this, I'm going to get points on either side. I know I'm at negative 1 and a half, so let's do negative 1, 0, and 1. Those seems like easy numbers to plug in.
Can't we do the same like the same numbers?
Nope, it's going to be different every single time. Because your vertex, which is this that I made right here, which makes your axis of symmetry, which is right down here, is going to be different each time when you want numbers on either side of that. If it's over here, okay, if your answer is like negative 7 for X, you do not want to do negative 1, 0, and 1. It's not going to make a U. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take these numbers that I have and plug them back into my original problem. I'm going to say negative 1 squared minus 3 times negative 1 plus 1. I took the numbers and I stuck it back in for my original equation. This is how I'm making my table. Okay. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, but times a negative with a negative in front. Again, let's just do this in the calculator. Make sure you put your parentheses right. Negative, parentheses, negative 1 squared and parentheses, minus 3 times a negative 1 plus 1. We get 5. Now I'm going to plug in 0. So I say negative 0 squared minus 3 times 0 plus 1. Again, I'm just going to stick that into my calculator. Negative 0 squared minus 3 times 0 plus 1, we get 1. And finally, I plug in negative 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus 1. So I put negative parentheses 1 plus 1 gives me negative 3. Okay. So I'm going to plot those here. I've got negative 1. I've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At 0, I've got 1. And at 1, I have negative 3. Now, I just am going to go to the other side of my axis of symmetry, my red line, and put the blue parts on the opposite side. See, this is 1 1/2 away, so I got to go 1 1/2 away. This is half, 1, 2, so it's 2 1/2, so half, 1, 2. And it gives you an upside down view. Yes? Okay. Again, I plotted these, correct? Okay. Now see where the red line is? That's, if you fold it in half, the dots have to be on the same sides, the same distance. So when I have negative 1, I have 5. So I know when I have negative 2, it's also 5. So this is the same for negative 2. When I have 0, 0 is 1 1/2 away. So I look at the other side, I go half and 1, that's negative 1, 2, 3. So this is the same for negative 3. At 1, I'm at 2 1/2 away, so if I go half, 1, 2, I'm at 1, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4 is also the same. If you folded it in half, it has to be the same on either side. Okay. You're going to put up your